Good morning, folks. It's 7:27 a.m., Wednesday, May 17th, 2017. Bada boom, bada bing. Lots of sevens. Whoop, get the glare off of that. Excuse me. Something going on the other side. Just looking at it real quick. Just popped into my head. All the little imitators trying to gain attention through working off other people's merits is the thought process that's going through the head, but it's amazing all the time that some people spend just for attention to their self. It's little children that feel they didn't get enough love and attention from mom and dad. Kind of sad, really. Anyway, whatever. So this is about the first human race. Excuse me, the first human bodies ever made. Excuse me. It's about how to grow your own future as much as you can. And if anyone out there thinks that is, what do they call it? Manifestation? No such thing. I've actually seen people take a penny, put it inside a planter with a plant, and as the plant grows, it forces the money to grow in your life. It's good to think positive about stuff. It's good to do things that make you happy, but if you're really expecting that to happen, you're being ridiculous. If you don't like that, fine. Never said you had to, but it's true. You're a spirit that's in a body to have a life. The reason why you do that, for the most part, especially now that the original first being, excuse me, male and female are gone, as well as the original first angels, almost all of them, all the problematic ones, almost every single one of them. Now that that's a done deal, you do have free will. Not complete, because creation as a whole has to go down the road in a certain direction, or both ways, but it needs to be controlled as far as, where you're going. Now, excuse me, control. It's more like guided, but it's guided with effort. Okay, it's not like your daily life's being controlled like they have been. It's harder to run creation if you're not more involved in the daily decisions. But if you take away the abuse and you allow people to flow the way they are, they learn more, they grow smoother, softer, and more completely. Shouldn't that be the end game? Shouldn't that be the goal? That we develop as who we really are, spirit, sentient energy, in a way that flows naturally with who we are. You're going to build up less abuse frequencies within you. Everything's going to move along smoother. Those things that those people, beings, spirit, animals, people, everything's people to me, because I see you as who you are. Excuse me. Sentient energy, spirit. But anyway, that's how things are going to be, and it's going to open up new doors that have never been available to anyone. They've never existed. It'll be like walking into a room in your house that's like a sanctuary for you. Maybe a sun porch with plants and a little waterfall and that, your books to read or DVDs or whatever. That's what I'm talking about. Your place of peaceful solitude, where you can relax and just be you. That's your life's going to be more like that. Now, this DNA change that I've been doing lately, that does. There's a small problem with that. As you understand more, awesome. If you don't have compassion, then that literally will softly show your arrogance. That'll be shut down, changed. Everyone going in and out of bodies has been, what's the right word? Your lives have been tailored. Your experiences have been made. You've been trained, taught to become arrogant, abusive towards each other. That was done intentionally by the design of the first being, male and female, which is called God. There was never any devil or anything. It was just the first being trying to get what it wanted. Both parts of it, male and female. Both halves. So, a lot of people say, oh, no, I don't want to believe that. I believe in God and everything. God loves me and everything. Yeah, what's war? What's pestilence? What's disease? Why do parents bury the children? You can break it down to what are fleas, ticks, and mosquitoes good for. Why did the government just take my house? How come I buy a house for $135,000 and it's $898,000 by the time I pay for it? What? Why is that allowed to happen? I mean, you can go on forever and ever, and why bother? So, you can use your common sense through your the earth and spirit in your head to understand these things, or to begin to understand them. But the stronger your abilities get, the more you're going to see, the more you're going to become aware of, the more information you're going to have. Data, number 8, in numerology, to download it and to understand it. And once you understand it, which is number 2, then you have, which is number 2 is harmony and stuff too, coming together. But let's just keep it at the talking about understanding things. And it's also, number 2 is also relative to the hypothalamus gland in the brain. Excuse me, that and the heart actually create understanding in your body. Anyway, I'm going to jump ahead a little bit. This first race of human beings, they developed over time. They were, when the souls were released, soul spirit was released in 5 different ways from the original first being, male and female. It was early. In the first, about 1.23, about 23% of the way through, whatever, 20% of the way, about just after 20% of the way through the wave being released, they were already formulating these basic humanoid bodies. If you look at, that's going to be hard for some people to understand. When the original first being, male and female, released some of their energy and moved it out, it took a little time for it to come out and move along. But as they were separating it, they're literally seeing what they want to build as they do it. Remember, you don't really understand who you are when you're not locked, when the strongest part of you isn't locked in a body. You're huge and incredibly intelligent. So that's when the original human race was, this type of human race was formulated. And then soon they were put into bodies. Very soon. Like basically immediately. So these human bodies, these original humans, they developed over trillions of years. They became very intelligent. Their DNA and everything else kept evolving at their own, natural rate. And they have a great sense of understanding, but they don't have the compassion, the heart energy that's really necessary to take someone where they need to be as they become more intelligent, as they understand more. If you understand something needs to be like this or that, you might literally step on someone, not care about how many people you kill, not consider anyone's rights to do so. You just do it because you think you should. The difference is when you grow with understanding, as your understanding grows and you develop, and you have compassion, that's where we're going. That's where it's all gonna flow. That's another reason with these DNA consults, DNA ICUCs I did, DNA intensive crank-up consultation. It's a long thing there. It's another reason why there was so few. It's not just that I didn't have the time, but that's another reason why it was important to only have a few of them. When I'm me again, soon, I'll be able to drop this body, be myself again. We all know I'm looking forward to that. Then I can do it better. I can easily see who needs what, where, when, and why. But also people are getting together having children, and different spirits going to be put in these bodies. This is about the growth of the lives, the beings that are sent to the third dimension to have lives, to grow, to learn. The original first being male and female just want to keep shoving everybody right back in a body. Don't let them have the chance to release the frustrations built up from all the hell they will put through in their life. Shove them in there again, keep them going. It makes them get bigger and bigger, grow bigger to praise us. I mean, that seriously. They said, we own you, you're part of us. You will do what we want you to. It's a good thing that we're never strong enough to kill anything. So anyway, this race, through arrogance, through great understanding, they could do a lot of things, but their arrogance, they never taught to other races. They'd show up, do what they thought was right, and they'd leave. Even if people died, they didn't care. It is so funny that if you look at the movie Prometheus, you look at those big, huge beings and how arrogant and everything they were very, very much like them. So no, I didn't get the concept from watching the movie. Folks, there's a lot of things that happen in movies that are relative to what's really going on. Where did these directors and everything get this information? Gee, it couldn't possibly be downloaded. There's control in our lives daily with what's going on right now on the other side. Deanna and I are at the very front of it. I've always been right there in the middle of it. The first thing to go after is me. And Deanna, she's so involved in this now, and she's right here in the front of it. And so are some other family members right there in the front. They've been getting harassed for a long time. Source family members, whatever. We're all family. But it's difficult to deal with this stuff. And now there's good, clean source spirit on the other side. Parts of it literally just very young little beings. They just recently came off of a big, strong field of energy. They want to do the right thing. All they can do is look at the way somebody else baked a cake, and they say, I'm going to bake a cake. It's like giving a 2-year-old a big plastic shovel. There's no telling what he's going to do with it, you know? He'll tear something up and say, look what I did, and be happy about it. He doesn't know better. not a bad child. It's called learning. Now it's not the time for something to be out there and to be learning, but it can't be helped. It exists. So we have to deal with that all the time. There's so much going on. They don't understand on the other side what to do. And there's nothing over there that's really ready to run things. And the large parts of Lily over there, they're literally frozen right now. So they wouldn't do the wrong thing. But this first original human race literally came up to the wrong human body from a ship in space. For the most part, they're spherical. And literally attacked the wrong human body, trying to change his brain. And that cranked up the rest of the spirit, Arae spirit, and the main part of what Arae is went to him and literally destroyed all but they destroyed just over 86% of their race. There's almost none of them left anymore. I mean, that was painful. When you can see spirit and everything else, you get used to it, you understand it. But that was painful. And that was an attack. We're going to change your brain the way we want it to be, and you're going to do what we want you to do, and then we'll leave the heroes that don't even want to hear thanks, because y'all don't deserve to even communicate with us. That's how arrogant they are. Well, that's one problem that's kind of handled. The ones that are left are not. Let them rebuild their race from those genetics. I know to a lot of people the way I talk is kind of funny, my words, what I say, and the things I talk about. For those who know better, like I've said, this is for the next 100 years. As people wake up, they'll see things for themselves. They'll understand better. It's easier for us to understand each other when we're evolved to a point where our capacity to understand is much stronger. That's also very important with all the new friends coming in now from all these other planets, star systems. So, they were incredibly intelligent, but so arrogant. They had no compassion. They didn't care about anything. It's like they were a gardener, and they saw something, a plant grow up, didn't like it, and they just rip it out and not care. But that plant would be, in your mind, thinking about this, to understand what I'm saying, think of it as a living being. Going to a planet, didn't like this, just destroy it and just go. And say, don't bother to thank us, you don't even deserve to communicate with us. That's what they were like. But what they did, their arrogance was so insane. I've always been one that if I get hurt or something, I get mad. I go at whatever hurt me. If it was happenstance, it's happenstance. So what? You just keep going. Anyway, so there's almost none of them left. You'll find this out for yourself later. There's something I want to talk about too briefly. The future. What is the future? It's those things that are going to happen. They've already happened in another timeline. Yes, we can see. The aliens know. Our friends from other planets, they have scanners. Bill Gates has one, where they can actually see what's happening in the near future. The more you try to see ahead, the less you get. Why? Because the future's always being changed. You know, I don't mean this towards anyone, but duh. You know, it's a simple thing. I give myself a hard time when I do other people. Maybe it's a good way to keep yourself in check. I don't know. Who knows? I don't care. Just keep going is all I know. I don't have a whole lot of hope in me. I have action. There's nothing wrong with hope. It's important. It's just I didn't have much of that put in me when I was originally made. I was made to serve and protect, to be strong. Stronger than anything else, so that when something else came out of the first dimension, if they went after the original first being, because they would just happen to be made bigger, that I'd be able to take care of it. Then they watched me grow a conscience and free will, and they didn't like that at all. Anyway, whatever, they're dead, they're gone now. But the future is what we make it as a family. That's not manifestation. There's no such thing as manifestation. If you work hard to make money and you save it, you're going to increase the amount of money you have so that you have a secure pile of funding to do things that might come up that you need to do. Without all the abuse you've had in your lives, you're not going to need as much. Okay. Also, there's a lot of other things going on that it's going to take away that whole process. People worry about the money market collapsing. If things were left the way they are now, it would, but it's not going to. It's not going to be allowed to happen like that. It'll eventually fall away, and everything's going to be better than fine, but not crash and kill it. And I'll lose my house. I'll be in the street. No. Yes, for some. Some people are going to wind up people that have really been throwing people in the street. Wait and see what happens to them before they die. Karma's a bitch. And it's about time it was aggressive. But the original first being male and female, and their original angels need to be removed before that can happen. This is just coming into my head of Deanna. I've got Deanna in charge of this. All the copyrights for my books, DVDs, and other stuff, all that property, everything goes to Deanna here in just a little bit. Paul's going to get something substantial, but and my son Matthew, he's going to be taken care of too, in many ways that he's not aware of yet. But the books, my first two books, she's going to rewrite them and add her name to the author list. The book could be, the authors will be myself and her. She's going to make them easier to read, and they're coming out in a lot of different languages. The whole time I wrote these books, I was involved, like book number 1, I was literally involved fighting the original first being, male and female, 24/7. It's more like 25/8. There is no hell, but as far as the thought process of hell being a bitchy place to be, no bigger place and no bigger way to find it than that. But she'll make it more easier to consume. I've always had a hard time talking. The editors of Create Space want to keep it as original as possible, but yet, get it to flow. But Deanna's mind is very good for that. And there'll be some other people involved in putting that together too. The future, it's anyway. I brought that for some reason. I brought that up because this. I don't want to say this. It's something about the original ones and their value. whatever. I don't think like that, but that literally I'm being pushed to say that. It's get it now or not. Part of what Lily's saying. The newer ones will be easier to read, but the original ones are the ones I put together while dealing with all that fighting. I still deal with stuff all day long, but now it's good spirit just screwing up because it doesn't know better and it won't listen. It's all due to the fact of the original first being male and female doing things the way they did, just making everything about aggression, abuse, arrogance, trying to make everything stress more, to make it grow larger, to create more praise beings. Sad. Anyway, so the future now, you have it's about to be here before the end, well before the end of the year. You're going to have more free will than you ever would have thought you would have once you're out of body and looking at people having lives. You'll see the difference. I can tell you, but it's not till your actual self when you'll actually see it. And you're going to have to wait longer before you go in bodies, but you're going to see it. That's how you fix things like this. The more you understand, the better decisions you can make. And as long as you have compassion, and compassion comes from the being that's being put inside the physical body, and the physical body is eventually going to go away, but still there's going to be another type of body you go into. That's energy that can turn itself into physical and then release it, like flexing the muscle and then let go, like the Fey bodies. That's why the Fey will start meeting you in probably 2084. 2080. We'll see. I can't tell you for sure. I'm me, but I'm just the strongest piece of what I am, stuck in a little teeny piece of it, stuck in a body. You know, how much can you see when you're bury your head in molasses? Not much. So the future, what the future actually is an extension of the now. Simple thing, isn't it? But if you take the time to look at it, there's a lot for you to understand there. You have more freedom than you've ever had, more free will. You're about to have a ton more. And the things that, all these bumps on the road are going to literally, think of think about a bumpy road, it's all messed up, and then here comes this machine that just leaves this nice, smooth, soft surface for you to walk on. So, that's where we're going. The power of understanding with the addition of compassion is going to create, is what's going to happen. It's our new creation. That in itself takes away a lot of the abuse that's in lives, or the frustrations in life. The abuse is just going to be ripped out of it. Things that spirit that wants to, be problematic, give everything a hard time, it's not going back in the body. Nada. It'll be sent to its own dimension where it can be itself. It has the right to live. You're going to have more to do with creating your future, but it's still not manifestation. Okay? You have to manifest, only think positive things to bring in more positivity in your life. The law of attraction, that's total bullshit. The more positive you are about things, the easier it is to keep going. But when you expect everything else to come back, more coming back to be positive, well, a little bit will. You'll find yourself hanging around with more people that are positive and not aggressively nasty, but you do that anyway. It's your natural self. Just, love yourself, care about yourself, have faith in yourself, honor yourself. Not by taking from others, just honor yourself by being who you really are inside. If you suck, you're not going back in the body. It's very simple. But those of you that worry about, do I suck? You're the ones that don't, for sure. Not that other people don't, but somebody who does suck would never say, "Oh, that's not me because I'm too good." Whatever. There's different varying, percentages, whatever of that. It's just a sliding scale. A lot of you have good heart energy, and you know that's not you. But a lot of us have heart energy. We've been beat up so hard that it makes us wonder. I see things as they happen all over the place. It's just what I am. No big deal. If your neighbor or your spouse, whatever, is awake and you're not, and then you start waking up, they're not better than you. Nothing's any better than anything else. There's equality throughout creation, whether you want to accept it or not. It doesn't matter. It's still there. If you stand there and watch a tree fall on your house and you say, "A tree did not fall on my house," guess what? A tree fell on your house, man. Get over it. I would advise you to deal with it and to enhance your your life and your house. You understand where I'm going with that? The more you try to think about holding on to some finances to pay your bills, the more you're going to do it. You didn't manifest more money. You're being more intelligent. You understand that you have to hold on to more money and not spend as much. Understanding is a powerful tool. Okay? We can enhance our lives, but we can't control them. Sorry. Control what you can. Do what you can for yourself. But the real control, for the most part, is on the other side. The control of the biggest things in your life is, and that's why some people can quit something and others can't. I see all that stuff happening, the abuse to people, everything else. I just watch it. It's just, to me, it's insane. It's sad, but it's what we're left with, and it'll get fixed. Doubt in my mind on that? Nothing whatsoever. Not the first little bit. If I really don't want to say this, but if you're involved in baking a cake, you know you're going to bake a cake, so you do. You can say, "I'm going to bake a cake," I'm not worried how it comes out. I'm concerned with utilizing everything I have, everything I am, to bring forth what's proper for everyone, with compassion in mind, right and left, and so that everyone moves forward and has better lives. I don't matter. It's important I do my job, but other than that, I'm not important. It's important what I do gets done, and that's it. So, to me, what's important is people waking up, becoming themselves, understanding more. The abuse, what's been causing the abuse, had to be taken away, and it has been. Now it's time for there to be more understanding on the other side, and there will be. And that's what's going to change people's lives. There's a lot of good stuff over there. It doesn't know what to do. They're trying to do something, and there's nothing over there to, say no. Enough about that, though. Sometimes I have to talk about something I'm personally involved in, so you understand where other things I say come from. And when I first started doing this, growing stronger and finding out a little more about myself, I just I had to say, certain things that I, excuse me, I never wanted to. Anyway. With these videos, with this video thing, I see the subscribers go up, go down, basically keep increasing. I'm not concerned about that. I don't have commercials. It's not like I don't care, but it's not like it doesn't matter, because I want more people to start getting some good information. But it's going to be fine. Sometimes I'll start talking with to ear some other folk, what we call ETs. I'll start talking with them about different things happening. And then I put on the video, and then, the subscribers and stuff goes up, and then there's less ET stuff, and then it goes down. Let it be what it is. The important thing is that the information is there for y'all to have. Like I said, I'm here forever, not in this body. But the information I'm putting out, y'all going to use that for a long time. Eventually, what I'm telling you about, people are just going to know for themselves. So, it might be a year before the new edition of the books comes out, and then the third book will already be worked on intensely. That's a lot of stuff to do. Things will change. You'll see it for yourself. But the future is literally now that's growing. That's all it is. That's why there's no exact future. There's certain events that have to happen, and then when they use these scanners, they literally can see certain things happening that they feel they can count on, at least to a higher percentage. Especially things that are 2 weeks ahead instead of 2 years ahead, or 200 years ahead. So, there's a lot of people that have looked at the future and they said, we hit a wall. No, you're being stopped from seeing anything, because at that point things it will be under such change. The decisions to bring about certain change have not been there yet. So it's like they say it's a wall. It's not a wall. It's just an emptiness. There's nothing there, but they have a hard time going through it because source stops them. So understanding is really important. Excuse me. And as races evolve, they understand that compassion is very important. The Drakh could easily be the dominant force controlling everything in everyone's lives. That's not them. They weren't just made of the most powerful spirit that there was, most powerful frequencies in massive amounts. They were made from heart. They have compassion. They have honor. They're not the only race, but that's where they come from. That's why they stay out of things as much as possible, as long as possible. But they are the elders of the family as far as the physical race goes. They were the first race. It's about as elder as you can get. So it's important as we grow that we maintain our honor, our integrity, that we allow our compassion to flow to be who we are. And those people that are not like that, they could have children with very nice DNA in it, and those children will have spirit inside that will not cohere to the parents' wishes or thought processes. Creation cannot be collapsed and just rebuilt again. It has to be fixed this way. There will always be a new being coming out of the original first dimension. And it will be a child. It will not understand anything. And as it sees other beings having lives, it needs to understand what works and doesn't. And if it refuses to learn, if it refuses to accept, it'll be dealt with. And that'll be going on forever. But it can't just be beaten up. It's not about controlling something with a hard fist. It's about allowing others to absorb knowledge and then to receive their own understanding. And the more that they have about different things, the greater their wisdom. A compilation of understandings. So, anyway. Excuse me, damn. My body's a mess. This is what's happening. This is your futures as far as lives and bodies. And the bodies themselves will change, become energy. Become energy. Excuse me, that can actually produce a solid mass and then release it. That's not for a while. It might be as much as 2,000 years from now, but it will be happening. But in the meantime, your lives will get better. You'll have more to understand, but these human bodies on this planet are already softly evolving, and something's been started to increase it. That's what the DNA consults are about. And like I've said, that they're closed. I only had so many, and I got to go. So we're doing the scheduling now. Well, folks, take care. Love y'all. Sometimes it's hard for some of us to say, maybe say that a little more to those you really care about. Let them know how you feel. I have a type of soft innate love for everything, but when something becomes a problem, you have to do whatever's necessary to stop it. And that's abuse. Anyway, look, folks, take care, and we'll see you around. Look, have a good one. Bye.